Welcome back. Anyone don't know this? This is a Dusty Frank, and we've got some big news coming up. Yeah, since putting the air ride on it, we neglected it. I've got so much other stuff going on, and I always do, and too many projects, I suspect so, but anyway, I like to come back to them and stuff, and I fell out of love with Frank a little bit. There's things I think I've been going down the wrong route and I want to change, but that's all going to have to put on hold for the moment because I got invited to the classic NEC restoration show again in March to be on the mini kits stand. You may think, this isn't a mini kit. Well, Uncle Nobby's brother, Uncle Frank's brother, was a mini, obviously, wasn't it? This was a Metro, and yeah, and they've invited me. I've checked the small print of their club site, and they said, yeah, sure, come along. Not only that, my dad is going to go there as well, hopefully, fingers crossed, with his £100 mini kit, which was mini-based. Not sure which of our two is more road legal, but we won't worry about that. So yeah, we are going to try and attempt to get this to the NEC show, dust it off, get it working a bit more, and see some people. So yeah, and that's my box ticked. Said I've finished Frank because I've managed to get it to a show. So I could just take it along like this. It won't make any difference on the NEC. The scamp that went last year was right pigs here. But it'd be nice to get the dash in, window screening, air ride working without it leaking, and that's what we're going to try and focus on today. We'll have a bit of a tidy up and then try and figure out, well, I know where the air leak is. It's got a pressure sensor on the main tank, and it's got an O-ring on that sensor, but it's been, or the instructors told me to screw it into the curved area. And I'm thinking, and it just couldn't seal, so there is a fitting at the bottom and the top. Bottom one's used, top one's not, so I'm thinking, well, let's try and screw it in there, because there's a flat edge on there. I guess we could always try and machine a flat edge as well, but I don't really want to be going that far. I did take on people's comments before when I first fitted it. They said the filter could go in a different position, water filter, all this sort of stuff, which I should try and get round to, but I'm just going to at least just get it working without leaking, and then we can improve it later. I just need it to be reliable and click of a button, everything mounted down as well. I've got the tank mounted down, things like that. So yeah, so let's have a bit of a tidy up and see if we can figure out this pressure switch and see if we can fix it. Move the sensor to the flat area on the end. That pump sounds a lot quieter than it did before. I can't remember how quiet it was actually. 27 psi, 28, 29. We'll come back in a bit, see if it's, it never did turn off, it could never get to high pressure because it started leaking, so I may start the car up as well. I can't remember what the cutoff is. I think it's 180 psi. Obviously Chinese stuff, it's all a bit slow, so we're up to 142. I did check for some leaks. Can't see any or see any. Can't hear any or feel any. Let's see what happens. I don't know when it's going to go bang. I think there's a major pressure relief valve that goes at 250 or something. I don't know. I'm making that up. Silence. Well, it got 174, which actually might be 175, give or take. That could be the sensor. I don't think a wire's fallen off. I'll check it in a minute, because that could be the other option, of wires falling off. So I only just poke the wires in. So I'm not going to do any of the controls just yet. I'm going to let it sit for a bit, because that's taken a good 10-15 minutes to fill up. I guess I don't know, people who are there right tell me if that's normal or not, but I expect it is normal for Chinese stuff, and you do see a lot of them with twin pumps, because I guess, yeah, you just fill the tank quicker. Obviously, twice as quick! Yeah, let's just see how long that stays up in the air, I guess. I tell you what, I can't hear any hissing, which is always a good sign for big leaks. Still says 174. It's been about 30 seconds since we last checked. My dodgy ears, I've got titillitous all the time, just a ringing all the time. I can't hear any air just at the moment. 173 psi. We've lost about 1 psi in about 5 minutes. How are we going to find that leak? All right. I just did the up and down for a bit, and about 125 psi it kicked back in again. So yeah, we'll let that pump up and stay there this time, and then we'll try and mount some of the tanks and things. Well, my day on this is going well. I've just realised my Riv-nut tool is back home in the scamp. That's where we used it last. I've now run the battery flat, and I haven't got my battery charge down here with me. We're now stuck at 166 psi, so we'll not touch it, and we shall just see how things go. So yeah, let me know while, depending on what else I get done, what you want me to try and get done, ready for the NEC show. Way! I'll just 3D scan the bonnet, because I've got some ideas with that, but they can just go on the back burner, really. So I've 3D printed up some mounts, although I've now got a new 3D printer, which is working much better, so I could reprint these. We shall see. That's to mount the thing. I've just dug out the dash again, so let's go get the dash, because ages been trying to get the Subaru stuff, because we then had the electronic dash, and now we've gone back to the Subaru dash, but then now we've got the Metro Flock dash, and yeah, lots of fun. Okay, we're gonna have to call it a night, a day, whatever you like to call it. Need to get back, cook Mrs. Green some dinner, flatten the battery, bring the charger back. The neighbour borrowed that, got to go get my charger back off him. We'll leave it in the air, we'll leave air in it overnight, see if we can get back tomorrow and do a little bit, check everything. Need to get Nathan. Are you watching this, Nathan? You owe me a day's welding still. Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember, Nathan? I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. 4 years ago, that. No worries, mate. No worries, mate. And yeah. I should take the dash as well, but I can't keep taking stuff home. Mrs. Green gets a bit berserk with all the stuff on the tables. Yeah, all right, I'm going to think about that. Off to cook them steak. Welcome back to the next part of the video. Surprisingly, it's been about a week since we filled it up with air and then left it. And then went off to look for my Riv-nut tool, which I still couldn't find at home. Some suitable comment there, Madison, because yes, I always lose everything, don't I? Anyway, surprise, surprise, we came back. 0 psi. So, means there's a little leak. Again, still. I don't think it's the, it still could be the pressure sensor. But it could be somewhere else, so we'll have to get it pumped up again and have a look for it. That sort of tells me sort of it's on the tank side, per se, compared to the controller. Because technically, if the controller's not leaking, and the solenoids in there aren't leaking, it should have kept the air in the tank, because it would have, unless that's not, yeah. Otherwise, if there's a leak on the pipes that go to the actual coil over the struts, that would leak that side, car would drop, but actually the PSI would stay in the tank. Or I've got to leak both sides, which is highly possible as well. Couldn't find the Riv-nut tool, as I said, so we're going to have to think of another method of finding some drills and taps and trying to mount this tank. So let's see if we can get that done. Someone kindly, I've forgotten their name, a long, long time ago now, I met them and they gave me a windscreen as well as some fiberglass side scoops. I just chucked it on the top because I do like the look of a roof scoop. Maybe not that exact look, but maybe it's something we can print up ready for the show. But nah, let's keep that in mind. All right, come on, crack on, Matthew. It's cold. All right, I've got the Riv-nut in. I used, people have said it before, I've never done it because I always have the tool to hand, but you can use just a nut and bolt. Basically, you screw the nut onto the bolt, wind that into the Riv-nut, put the Riv-nut in, hold the top bolt with the socket of the spanner, and then wind the nut down so it pulls the bolt up and pinches it. I'm going to try and put a couple of Riv-nuts in the back mount. They should be just simple ones because they just go through the aluminium mount. I built a 3D printed spacer for the front one just to lift it up a bit. I can't remember why, just so it didn't tilt down too much, I don't think. Anyway, I might reprint that as well. Now I've got a newer printer, but yeah, it's all right. Pain in the arse trying to get into this thing. Okie dokie, just did some soapy water tests, found a few little joints that are weeping, so we tighten them back up and see how it goes. What we're looking at now, 172 PSI, and yeah, we just screwed the dash back in because I'm going to just take a saw to it and get this Subaru dash to fit. So, unlock, back, front, back up, back up. Woohoo! All right, let's see how that leaks, and I might remake that mount at some point, but the bottle's not rolling around, that's the main thing, and still need to strap the controller down and also paint the bracket that holds the pump as well. Lots of things to do. Welcome to my dashboard woes. If any of you have been following me since the beginning of this build, I've been through about 56 dashboards, changed my mind on everything, picked up this dusty flocked one, which actually the dust comes off quite nicely, and yeah, so I was trying to see if I could take these Subaru dials to bits and change the position of them, but they're just too much printed circuit board. I'm not Project Binky, so I'm going with, that's the original Mark 1 dash like that, I think. And then you have the Mark 2s that have this sort of like extra foam padding on, which you do and don't need. It sort of brings the buttons out a bit more, maybe, but we can use that. But basically, I'm going to leave this bottom section, and that's the minimum I'm going to go. I'm going to basically cut a section out here to allow this to go in as far as I want it to. Cut a section out of this as well, matching maybe, might even come right to the front here. And then we'll mould or print something which then makes a whole sort of a curved dome over this to allow the wires to go and so forth. And then either reflock it or try and find some like black stretched four-way carpet or something a bit finer if you can, but a bit of black stretched carpet would be fine. Anyway, what I'm saying is, we're going to make a mess. Okay, yeah, it'd be nice if I could maybe drop them a little bit more, but I don't really want to cut the bottom of the dash part out as well. I'll have a think about it. At the moment that sort of is useful for locating the dash, but yeah, it could go down more, couldn't it? Let me see if I can figure that out. If not, we'll have to leave it. So basically, I'm thinking of making some sort of new shroud that goes over the top here, which will be glued and bonded and fiberglass and stuck to this, maybe 3D printed, maybe not. And that basically comes down here, but then leaves enough room for the wires behind the dash to connect up yet. And obviously I'd cut more out here to allow the wires. That's my thinking. Otherwise I've just ruined a second-hand flock dash. I think I can drop those dials inside there. Gonna need to cut more away from this, but I just did a little bit of stellarated design. It's not going to be like this at all. I was just trying to get that sort of curve so I know the distance, because I can then take this home. And then what I'll do is I'll try and 3D print something, I think, to give me, because with just a piece of card, you're only going to get one curve. You're not going to get a convex curve or whatever, you know. Curved in two directions. We want a curve like that and we want a curve like that. We can do that a lot easier with a 3D printer. So I think I'll take this bit home, and make up a bit of a shroud. I must have to do it in a couple of parts. It might be able to get in one part, but anyway, we'll figure it out. And come back another day for that. All right, gonna wrap the video up. I'm not too sure how long this is, but at least we've dusted Frank off. I know you guys, a lot of you are followers from Frank, and obviously there's still a lot of followers from before that, but I did gain quite a few from this, so hopefully you can come along to the NEC and see Frank in the flesh, and we finally get it to a car show. I did try a few years back, that failed. So yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit of bite to lunch, get on with something else, and then head home because I've got some more tasks. I've got a garage door to fix that blew down in the wind. But anyway, I'm gonna take all that home so I can sort of play about with that on the 3D printer. Still got a slight air leak, can't find it just at the moment, but it's like losing about a PSI every 5 minutes. So it's not major, but it's still there somewhere. So it'll just be something, just needs tightening up. So that's good, much better than before though. It's getting up and getting down and getting the pressure up. Need to think about what we're doing with the front here. I could get the spotlights back on again for the show, but we'll figure that out. But the trouble with that is it's bolted to the bonnet, which then causes bonnet issues. And yeah, all right, we need to figure out what's going on, and we'll be back next week, do a bit more on this, do a bit of stuff. We've got Pete's mates to get out of here as well. And yeah, see you soon, Nathan. But yeah, hit like, hit subscribe, do all the things that YouTube let me know what you're having for dinner. I think we're gonna have katsu curry tonight, I think, by the time we get this, and got that as well. So yeah, all right, thanks for all the support. Thanks for Tom Cruise for the power tools, that's helped as well. And yeah, good. Roof scoop, no scoop, let me know, think of things that we can throw on this that are gonna look good.